Welcome to the Two Beasts podcast, where best friends Chris and Ollie try and figure out this complicated thing we call life.
On this special episode of the Two Beasts podcast, we are super excited to introduce you to Jake Hughes. Jake is a successful video agency owner, international DJ, and born and bred entrepreneur. On this episode, he shares the harsh lessons he's learned during his years in business. We get philosophical about what our purpose in the world is, and we get the inside scoop on his top secret new business ventures that utilise AI to change the way we build our businesses forever. We hope you enjoy. Let's get into it.
You do that? Well, I don't think I never knew you did that. That's a new thing or what?
Yeah, pretty new to be fair.
Yeah.
I've had like a tiny little controller in my house for ages that I've never really used, and then just slowly got into it, to be fair.
Yeah. So when you go to because you go to Croatia a lot, you go to where else do you go?
Ibiza, quite a lot. I'm going to Ibiza on Monday.
And so those are video jobs or for DJing?
It's a mix of both, to be fair. I kind of like hybrid them both. So yeah, last in Croatia, we had a couple beach bars that we went and played a set out, which was good fun.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
How did you pick those up? Just people you knew, you just networked with?
Just Instagram, yeah. Just send them a couple like videos of playing, and yeah.
Well, all right. Well, we'll start. As you know, probably we've welcome back, by the way, to the Two Beasts podcast. We're in another episode. We just jump straight in because we're savages. We're here today with Jake Hughes. We're doing an intro for you, so don't worry about it. Everyone knows who you are. You tell us a little bit about, because you run multiple businesses or just one?
Predominantly one at the moment. I've got an events thing on the side. Yeah. But so it's mainly Code Visuals, which is like a content creation, digital marketing agency. Essentially produced videos for brands that want to promote themselves on social media. And yeah, on the side as well, I also have Elation, which is an events brand, which is like a local like club event basically, which I've started the past couple months or so. It's doing really nicely, so yeah.
So why? What's the benefit of videos for companies?
So the benefit of videos for companies? What a question, mate.
Starting out with a bang.
Yeah, we don't
mess around with it.
Straight on the mark.
Social media's never been this popular as it's constantly growing, and people just want to be entertained. So for me, the sweet spot of advertising is subliminal. Like you're watching an advert without even knowing it's an advert. So with videos, companies investing in videos, it's only going to help. It's only going to get your product in front of the right eyes, really. So I feel like we've landed. You do a similar thing, don't you? So we've landed in this industry as like a complete, it's like almost chance, but it couldn't have been any better. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool.
The sweet spot, I always think of the Mr. Beast ad for Spotify, not Spotify, Shopify.
Yeah,
like
I'm not that thing.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a controversial one, I guess, in some ways, because it's him basically saying, hey, look how fast I can sell out on Shopify. And the whole thing is he puts a store together in like 30 minutes and sells out of 1,000 items of stock in like 30 seconds. Obviously, the comments are like, well, you're Mr. Beast, obviously.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, the ad shows that it's that classic Mr. Beast style of like, we sold at 1,000 of in X amount of time. And it's just like, it's in of itself an entertaining piece.
Yeah.
You ever watch Corridor Crew on YouTube?
No.
They did a very similar thing. They're like a video production company.
Yeah.
They specialise more in like films and stuff. But their ads are very similar. They like actually put some effort into making it part of the content rather than something you actually consume in itself.
That's it. Yeah. I love content like that.
Yeah.
When the ad is as cool as the video.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably the key, though, isn't it? Like if you're trying to sell something, it's almost like you don't want someone to feel like it's an advert. Because they sit there and they're like, fucking, I know, boring. Whereas if it's actually got some some content to it and it's some form of interest, then someone's more likely to jump on the product.
The creator is actually interested in that thing that they're selling.
Yeah, totally.
There's a famous line that's, people don't want to be sold something, they want to go shopping with friends. And I've always related that to sales and business and stuff, and it's like, the idea of being sold something is just like, no, like I don't want that. But if you're as interested and you're speaking about it enthusiastically and it's a cool thing, you're kind of more inclined to do that, aren't you? So
Yeah.
Because I always you strike me as like the master of soft sales.
You reckon?
Yeah. Like I feel like
I'll take that.
I feel like we're
It's a title now, isn't it? Master of soft sales.
Instagram bio.
I feel like the primary way that you've got your clients, I might be wrong on this, I'm pretty much guessing on based on just what I know about you.
I think you're pretty bang on.
Is you just end up being pals with someone.
Yeah.
And you're like, by the way, should we just start doing this and see what happens?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there ever a point where you have to switch on and go hard sell mode? And like, what was the point where, you know, when people like start delaying, procrastinating over something, is there a point where you say, you know what, go on, let's push it?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It is a tricky one. I don't like being too pushy with my sales. I think if a client's a good fit to work with us, they're going to want to work with us. They're inspired by the work that we've done already. I've never, you are right. I've never really been too pushy. If someone kind of needs a bit more time to think on it, like, go for it. Like I've sold the benefits to you. You understand the benefits. They know of the benefits of why you want to work with us. It's down to them, really. I don't like pushy people. I've been in a couple meetings when people are selling to me, and they're like, "Do it now." Like I say, I'll call you back in a couple months, and they're just like, "What's a couple months going to do? Like, you're not going to change." And I turned around and said to them, I was just like, "Yeah, you're right. It's not going to change. So yeah, I won't call you back. No worries, man. No worries."
Class. Yeah, well, I guess they're right. Yeah. And I suppose it's better in that way, at least. I don't know. I mean, when you're pushing hard, I guess you do run the risk of snuffing a deal that could have happened. But equally, like you say, if you're not going to buy, you probably knew that at the time.
Yeah. It's a tricky one. I don't think people like to be pushed. I think you want to make the decision yourself.
Yeah.
I don't, psychologically, if someone's telling me to buy something, I'm a bit like, no, fuck you.
It's almost like they're trying.
Do you know what I mean? But if I want to buy what you're selling, I'm like, oh shit, I actually really should.
It's almost like they're trying too hard.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like they know that they can't just sell based off how good their product is, and they have to be like, buy it.
If the product's good enough, people will want to buy it.
Totally, yeah.
And if that third person doesn't want, there's hundreds of others that do.
Yeah.
So do you ever do outreach for Cove? Or?
I do quite a lot of outreach, yeah. I make sure they're a good fit. Like I do a lot of research into cool companies that I think could really benefit from videos. Email, I spend quite a considerable amount of time. It's not just like a copy-paste email, it's like a personal outreach email that I list all the benefits, what I really want to do, maybe a bit of a plan for the concepts and stuff. And then just try and get on a call as soon as possible, just to show you're human. Yeah. And hopefully once you're on a call, normally it goes quite smoothly if you got the pitch right. So.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And so
what do you do lots of outreach?
I've really only just started this year. Like this year, a lot of it has just been the classic kind of, you know, beginning stage of video production where it's like you just kind of let stuff come in and enough comes in where you're happy enough. So you're like, and then once you get to the point where it's like, fuck, I need to sort winter out really. Yeah. You know, like, let's actually take some control over this. Yeah. So what kind of rejection rates do you get? Is it something where you get a lot of rejection or not really?
You get a fair few rejections. I don't really, sorry, my phone's going. I don't really take them in too much. Like I kind of just crack on. But yeah, there are a couple clients, that, especially the corporate ones, where they're shopping around for quotes. And yeah, you've either been outdone on the product that you're delivering or someone else is cheaper. Some of the time I've had clients that they're like competitors that are quoting for a job and they've been more expensive, but they've got their delivery that bang on that the client really wants it, and that fires me up. I'm just like, I need to be doing that. But yeah, no, I don't get too many rejections, but they definitely happen. They definitely happen. There's a guy that I watch that says when he's doing outreach and cold calls and stuff like that, he aims for like 10 no's per day. Like the yeses don't matter, you aim for 10 no's, and that's what fires you up. You kind of flip it on its head and use the rejection as like a bit of a dub, do you know what I mean? That's true. So that's a good way of thinking about it. It's quite cool, because then you're not too disheartened, do you know what I mean? It's like, cool, that's one tick.
We have a kind of thing where we just say, like, do something for X amount and see what happens. Yeah. So like, when I did my first 25 cold calls, it was like, just do 25, see what happens. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
25,
literally does not matter the results.
Tick them all off.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Once they're done, bish bash bosh, you get like 2 meetings, you're happy with that. Because you expect to fuck all anyway.
Yeah. It's like this podcast. 100 episodes, see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
What happens, you know what I mean? That's like the whole premise of this thing, isn't it? So
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. If you do something for long enough, it's a numbers game. The whole of life is just a numbers game, isn't it? So,
yeah, and the more you put out, the better. Well, you're going to make mistakes along the way, aren't you? So the more you put out, the more opportunities you have to make mistakes, and then the more opportunities you learn from those mistakes, right? So
you're just learning as you do it.
Totally.
The difference between the first podcast you guys are going to do and the 100th podcast
is going to be insane.
You're going to be able to look at it.
Yeah, wow. Close the curtains for one. So now
that's the biggest.
and like the first sales call you do and the 100th sales call you do. Like the best way to learn something is just to fucking do it.
Well, I've noticed that with the wedding calls, because what I actually did was I had a load of leads. Like we started Google Ads. Yeah. When we started Google Ads, like leads were coming through, and I kind of send an email off and then kind of forget about it, and it was just completely wasteful. Like I may as well have not fucking bothered. And then what I ended up doing at like the end of the month was going back through, and I had like 20 leads that had built up. That, to be honest, were like some of them were 2 months ago at this point. Like it was almost no point in asking, but I just rang them anyway, just to get over that fucking thing. Had my script or whatever, and now it's at a point where if I'm like traveling and I get an email, number, don't even have to look. As long as I know the date's free, just ring straight away, script's there, bang on.
Exactly.
You pretty much know what kind of questions they've got anyway. And you just, it's good for, you owe it to them as well, because they are looking for a videographer and they want somebody, they just want questions answered most of the time.
Exactly.
And if you can answer those questions, normally that's honestly enough.
Exactly. You just need to know what you're talking about. If you're bullshitting, you're going to find it hard because you don't really know what the concept of what you're talking about is. But as long as you know the product off by heart and you know exactly what you're doing, like
people smell your bullshit. Yeah, people will smell your bullshit pretty quick.
Exactly. Well,
you probably see this all the time, but like, when we started out and we would bullshit sometimes, like you have to bullshit somewhat in the beginning.
We would bullshit.
You see people, I see it quite often with, again, with wedding photographers. Yeah. When they come and they start trying to like pull the same old fucking tricks I used to pull. Like they start telling you about certain camera settings or like, they're going on this workshop and you know the workshop and you know it's a load of bollocks. You just know they're full of shit. Yeah. And you just have to go, all right, cool,
Nice.
And mentally you're making notes like, right, I better watch out for this motherfucker because they're going to get in the way, they're going to do something stupid.
It's not bullshit.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you do quite a lot in terms of like qualifying leads, that you're not wasting anybody's time when you do outreach. What is it that you're looking for in a client? What makes a good client for Cobe?
A client that is doing something different to most people. So lots of our clients they're interesting businesses in themselves, but they don't know how to portray that and tell that story online. I'd work with a lot of service-based businesses, not for any particular reason, but lots of my recommendations, lots of my existing clients are service-based businesses. So yeah, I do want to get more into the e-com stuff. But yeah, just a business that is doing something different and wants to portray that online, that we can tell a cool story. It's very varied. It's very varied, but it's good. It's good fun.
Do you think AI is going to be a risk or a benefit to video production?
I've not used it yet. I know you guys edit this pod on AI. That's insane to me. I'm Final Cut, so I don't think Final Cut's got any AI software. But I don't know. For me, I don't think you can ever take away from that human input. Obviously, ChatGPT is insane. But for video, I don't think in my opinion, a robot is ever going to outdo what a creative guy can do, because it's constantly evolving. How is it going to learn making good video is about constant trial and error, learning styles and stuff. Obviously, it can save you time. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't think in terms of the quality of the video, it's ever going to be up to par.
No, okay.
We pretty much said the same thing with Ash, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like the human side of it still needs to be there. Yeah. But any of the sort of like efficiency steps you can take to minimise how much time you're doing.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. That's a great feature.
Culling. Yeah. Like this, multicam.
Yeah.
It's easy stuff.
Yeah.
Like an idiot could do it. So just give it to a robot and get it done in 30 seconds.
Exactly. That is mental, to be fair, yeah.
With us, is anything I can do we give to a robot?
Yes.
Because you're the master of the editing, so it's like pass that off to the autopilot.
Master is definitely a very brave term to use, but
more master than I am. That's the only thing.
I've edited a video or two.
Yeah.
I've done it.
At this point, you've done a couple. Yeah. So what was you've moved into the content creation / digital marketing. you did YouTube before that.
Yeah.
What was the sort of transition from going from the vlogging YouTube scene into starting your own business?
Yeah, it's a good question. So videos has been like a constant in my life from as early as I can remember. So it's been, I was making videos as a kid on family holidays and stuff. That gradually progressed into YouTube videos when I was hanging out with my friends. And then always on the side of YouTube, I was filming videos for businesses and stuff, just for cheap little projects. So it's always been like a kind of constant. I didn't really talk about my business side of it that much because I just kind of looked at it like a job on the side, and YouTube was the passion and the goal, which it still is. I'd still love to get back onto YouTube. It's just things have got so busy now, and the money got good that I had to put the focus into what was paying the bills essentially, and that was the exciting part. That's what fired me up. So for the past 2 years, things have really started to snowball. I've now got my business partner who's kind of kicking me into gear a lot more, and it's it's a really tricky one. I still eat myself a lot inside if I think about like the fact that I'm not doing YouTube at the moment. It's still a plan to get back on it because it's so good just for the memory side of it more than anything. So if you forget all of the benefits of running a YouTube channel, literally like watching our old videos back, like we do that from time to time here, and it's like a video diary. Like I mean, that literally is what a vlog is, but you cannot beat that, going straight back to that moment. And
there's things that I forgot we'd done as well. Like we went to the water park.
Yeah.
And all that.
In Wales.
Yeah.
We stopped in that weird house, didn't we?
Yeah. That weird house that ended up being quite controversial because the owners turned out they actually didn't want. I think you were okay, but I think another vlogger that came, he made a comment about like a spider in a window or something, and they like properly kicked off, and they tried to flag it and take it down for months. I won't say his name or their name, whatever, just in case it's still a thing. But they were proper pissed off. Yeah.
Nah. Yeah. That's pretty creepy house.
It was.
Watching it.
Yeah. And those pit bulls were wild too. They had pit bulls there. Those were freaky fucking animals.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, we had to stay away from the dogs. Yeah. See all that stuff, and yes, we did that in the moment for obviously memory, like just a fun trip. But the reason behind that trip was to create content. Mm-hmm. So by doing this YouTube lifestyle, like what you guys are doing, the pod, like you push yourself. You live a sick life. Like you do stuff that genuinely sticks with you for ages. It's so good.
We've already been talking about that kind of stuff, like because it's a self-improvement podcast. Like that's what we want to do. So we're also now thinking about all these different things that we could try as like experiments. You know, like
challenges,
that YouTube series of like I tried X for 30 days. Here's what happened.
Yeah.
Like we're thinking about things we can do with that. I actually already did it, but we're gonna do it together again at the end of the month, like a 48-hour fast.
Yeah.
Because that's like what all the self-improvement gurus are doing, it's fasting and that, because they're nutters. So we'll just try it. It's content.
Documented. TikTok. Get on the personal TikTok.
Get on the talks.
They love that sort of shit.
It's the same, I mean, obviously it's slightly different in the sense of YouTube, you have a sick life, you go out and you do all this like action-y stuff. Podcasting is a similar thing, because it's like more of a pursuit of knowledge.
Yeah.
You push yourself to actually go and speak to people. I've been meaning to come and see you for 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And I haven't done it.
Yeah,
and now the podcast has been that final reason. It's like, let's do it, get it done.
Yeah, 100%. It really pushes you to just live a lot more, doesn't it?
It does.
So cool.
Yeah, and with having like 2 of us in on it as well.
Yeah.
It just helps
keep each other accountable.
Yeah.
It's just so much better. It's so much. Like I couldn't. We've talked about it. And we're like, imagine trying to do this on your own. Fucking hell, it's like such a big thing to try and do.
So regimented.
100%. Yeah.
Because I bet there's times when one of you slacking a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, with this, like where I'd sort of,
I don't know. I played Saints Row for about 30 minutes yesterday, but that's about as far as it's gone so far. We've been pretty good so far.
Until I got home and you were like, do you want to do a night run? I was like, I don't really want to go for a run. And you were like, do you want to go to the gym instead? I was like, that I can do. I can do that right now.
Do an hour of pull-ups instead.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
How important is, because obviously you've slowly been building the team at Cope over the years, and it kind of started off as, I don't know to what degree this is still the case, but it started off as like a network of freelancers. We'd all kind of bounce across, help each other. Yeah. We've always been quite good at doing that, like helping each other out.
Yeah, definitely. That's the foundation of our setup.
Yeah. How important is having a good team around you for what you do and what you do?
Oh, it's crucial. It's that's as soon as I got the team right, that's when the business started flying. When I was more of like a just a solo shooter, one-man band, that's when it was kind of plateauing at the same rate. But I mean, I've learned so much off the boys that I've got around me. So Owen, for example, he's a film student. He taught me so much about setting up a shot. Billy, he's insane at editing, so you're a sponge off that. You can learn so much. We've all got skills in different areas. And yeah, it's just a constant evolving kind of thing where we're all kind of helping each other and keeping it improving. So having a good team around you is crucial, 100%. And then in terms of like the camera equipment that we've all got between everybody now, it's huge. Like there's nothing that holds us back now. Whereas back in the day when you're kind of doing it by yourself, you're kind of limited by what you can shoot, what equipment you have, how many angles you can get, stuff like that. So getting a good team around you to help what you're doing is crucial, definitely.
We talked about that before, haven't we? About like the whole idea of self-made person is actually bollocks.
Yeah.
When you think about it,
I just don't believe it.
No, because the amount of people you need. Like, you need people, and you need to learn off people, because otherwise you're just going to be on the same path doing the same shit over and over again, and that's like the definition of insanity, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
100%.
You kind of get like privilege guilt a little bit, don't you? Because like I think all of us are in the same boat where we all came from good homes, good parents, all the rest of it, and you're like, the popular story is, I overcame so much adversity and now I'm here, and it's like you kind of feel guilty because you didn't have that. Then you realise they had people as well. It just wasn't exactly blood relatives. They had a mentor or someone that helped them through. They're like, self-made.
Yeah.
That's being a bit disrespectful to all the people that helped you along the way, isn't it?
You know one person at least.
At
You know what I mean? Come on,
And you're telling me that even if you were born in the 80s and you had no one, you're telling me you didn't ever look at a Rocky poster and go, I want to be like that guy.
Yeah.
So you're going to Rocky. Like, we all stand on the shoulders of giants. Come on.
Yeah, you've seen inspiration from somewhere, 100%.
What about, because I asked Luke the same question, because on the face of it, you know, you're this successful business guy. It seems like everything's going well. You're really good at promoting your wins and the wins that you get for clients.
Yeah.
Along the way, though, inevitably, there must have been fuck-ups or failures or things that you wish you had done better.
Yeah.
Or L's that you took that you had to be embarrassed from in order to get to the point where you are now.
Yeah.
What, that you're willing to admit to, what was the biggest one of those?
Biggest one of those? What a question. The biggest hit that I've ever kind of had was when we first went limited, I kind of didn't save for the tax bill. And I was just kind of completely like a rookie at business, and then got hit with a big amount of money that I suddenly owed, and that was like a bit of like a wake up call to be like, oh shit, like. So yeah, that's the one thing that stands out to me, where I was a bit like, yeah, fuck, I kind of fucked up here. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know if anything else really stands out to mind. Really, it's a good question. I'll think on it. If something comes to mind, I'll drop that.
Drop it in.
Drop
just
it in.
interrupt. Go on. I found another one.
I mean, to be fair, like I've had odd things on shoots where like a camera's gone down or something. You're like, oh, fuck, I could have done that better. Like nothing major, nothing that's like absolutely savage. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't suggest that you've like completely fucked a client over or anything like that. But there's stuff like Luke's mentioned. Luke's one was he failed his first round of A-levels. Yeah. And he was like so sure that he was going to do well, and then just completely fucked it up. And just taking that ego hit. And like, especially when you're running a business, you take a big ego hit, and you've still got to get on the phone and be confident. You've still got to continue to be that guy, even though you've just taken a knock. Yeah, 100%. Anything like that?
I once lost a client's footage. That was awful. The wedding footage as well. Oh. So that kind of ruined.
By lost
everything.
What's the?
This was when I was young. I was young. The hard drive ended up in a sink at a house party.
Oh, that's fucking savage.
How do you explain that?
I can't remember it too. This is when I was just starting out. I think I must have been 18, so a fair old time ago. I'm pretty sure I got the hard drive recovered.
Thankfully.
But yeah, I was actually in Cardiff. It was while you boys would have been at Cardiff Uni, to be fair. My mate, you remember my mate also was at Cardiff Uni. But I left my camera bag in a kitchen full of drunk idiots, and I think they must have got the laptop out to play music, and I woke up and the hard drive was in the sink, in water.
That's fucking brutal.
So that was a moment where I was like, right, this is serious now. I'm really fucked up. But I'm 95% sure I managed to get the footage back from I sent it off and got it restored. So.
Well, that's good news then. So it was a happy ending.
It was a happy ending.
Imagine having to fucking tell.
Oh God, is there anything more embarrassing than that?
I tell you,
surely.
This happened at the exact same time we went to the water park in that house in Thingy. Do you remember I cracked that egg over Luke's head?
Oh yeah.
And the egg got in his keyboard.
Oh.
It completely fucked that laptop.
Oh really?
It was so good to not press me for it because it was 100% my fault. And for like 2 years after that, he had sticky keys and like the typing was off. And he would always say to me, like,
the button just presses down and just stays
yeah,
down.
he would always say, I've got to get a new laptop, this keyboard's fucked. But he would never tell me why. Like, I forgot all about it, and he would never tell me why. And then I think actually, did we meet up in Birmingham with Ben Hughes? We did once.
Yeah.
That was when he picked up his new laptop.
Oh,
and it wasn't until that day where he was like, yeah, well, the old one, you fucking put egg in it, didn't you? And I was like, oh shit, I actually did fuck you over big time. I'm glad he didn't press me for money because I had none at the time. I wouldn't have been able to afford it.
I reckon he's waiting for the opportune time. I reckon he's like, right.
Remember that fucking eggy laptop you gave me?
Yeah, I owed him a laptop. The clip was class though. It was worth every penny.
It was good. It was good.
He'll probably monetize that, wouldn't he? He'll monetize that clip to get money for the laptop.
Knowing that boy.
What's up, you winners? Thank you for listening to the Two Beasts podcast so far. Just to let you know, this podcast is sponsored by Maven Visuals Ltd. Maven Visuals is the go-to for video production here in the southwest of England. So if your business needs fresh, engaging video content that will be sure to bring new sales into your company, then don't hesitate to get in touch at www.mavenvisuals.com. Back to the podcast.
All right, here's a big question. You ready for this?
Oh my God, he's
question.
throwing one in there straight away.
It's a big question here.
Hit me.
Serious. It's probably going to take us the rest of the time. It's going to be a long one. You're a busy man, building businesses. You've got dreams, aspirations. What do you want to do with your life? When it gets to the end, what do you want to have done?
What do I want to have done? That is a big question. Being able to look back and provide for my family. I think my mum and dad, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. I want to make sure that they are good because they've grafted to raise me and do what they've done. So that's the first thing that comes to mind is being able to make sure that everybody around me is 100% good. How I get there, how I get to that top point might chip and change. The route might change, but the end goal is to make sure that family is like looked after. In terms of like business and what I want to have done, I like the feeling of inspiring people. I like the feeling of when people message me saying, I want to be like you, essentially one day. I like that feeling of helping people grow. So potentially, giving back. I'm not that I've got all the answers right now, but eventually, as I understand the industry a lot more, and I can look back and help people understand the knowledge of the industry a lot more. Just have a lot of fun doing it. I want to be able to look back and know that we had the best time building all these platforms, building all these businesses, and fundamentally, there was fun at the back of all of it.
I think the fun will take care of itself in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
First of all, I think the idea about providing, I was saying this to Ollie the other day, I think that's us, because we're all in our 20s. There is a transition point from boys to men.
Yeah.
And I think we're all starting to get there now, all of us lot. We're all starting to, the mindset's starting to shift. It's not about us anymore. It's all about what we can actually deliver to people. And that's just manhood, I think.
I think so, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And so I think along the way, because we've been lucky enough to find each other, like you've got all the boys up here, me and Ollie, our links, Luke, all them lot, because we found each other and we're all aligned on that particular goal, I think the fun will take care of itself.
Yeah,
because we're all going to be here doing business. We're not going to be here. There's no bad blood. There's no like jealousy. We're all confident, capable people, which is what you want in the world. You want confident, capable men and women doing their thing. Yeah, everyone's fucking happy.
Exactly. And look how much we've laughed this morning. Like just even setting up this pot. Like not even 10 o'clock yet this morning. It's like every day there's something to have fun about, have a laugh about. So that's 100% important. Knowing that you've had fun, because you could definitely get to the top of the business game by locking yourself in a cupboard and not enjoying it. Like that's doable, 100%. But the fact that you have fun doing it is really important to me. Like
I don't like cupboards.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of cupboards.
Not on that Harry Potter vibe.
No.
Yeah. No, that's cool. What about you guys? Just throwing it right back at you.
Shit,
You weren't expecting that.
That's the first time. It's the first time the guest has thrown it back in our face. Go on, you go first.
I think that there's a lot of wisdom to be gained in the noble art of suffering. My suspicion is that everything's run by the culture. We're a capitalist society, okay, which is fine. I love capitalism as much as the next man. Definitely not fucking commie, right? Definitely. But like all things, there's a downside. And the downside to capitalism is that society's culture is basically dictated by business and money. Yeah. So what's the first rule of business? You have to solve a problem. You have to find a pain point and fix the pain, solve the pain. Like everything's about getting away from pain, moving towards comfort. Yeah. I don't necessarily think that's the best thing. I don't think that's what we're designed. I don't think our reward systems. Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah,
it's convenient that a fucking car can stop you from driving into the front of another car. Like I get that. That's cool. Like that technology's cool. Nice. Yeah. But the whole culture around let's be happy and comfortable. Yeah. Versus let's have a purpose and a mission. Yeah. Two separate things. Yeah. And I think the happiness is a byproduct of being on a good path, rather than something that you chase for in of itself.
That's really, that's a strong theory, that, to be fair.
So I suppose to answer your question, it would be to find my purpose and more importantly, deliver on it. Yeah. Like actually be a soldier of the world. Like you say, providing for the family. It's like, that's my purpose. That's going to be my thing. I'm going to build a business. I'm going to cold call, get rejected, do stuff that's scary, go on big shoots that I'm uncomfortable. Like I don't know if I've got it in me, and then it turns out I do. Yeah. Be the guy that can stay up 24 hours straight if I need to in order to make sure a deal gets signed so that everyone can eat. Yeah. Like putting myself in a position to best be able to do all of those hard things.
100%.
That's what I'd like to do.
It's almost like you just said there, the mission, the end goal is the journey itself, which is as soon as you fall in love with the journey itself, that's when you understand that you're actually on the right track. Yeah, 100%. Some people just fantasize over the end goal and don't have a fucking clue how to get there. But if you love the process of getting to the end goal, it's never ending and it's constantly evolving, constantly learning. Yeah, that's a good mindset.
So as long as you can see your next step, isn't it? That's the quote that we said the other day. It's like, as long as can you see your next step? Okay, take that. Yeah. Don't worry about what the end goal is, that'll come. As long as you keep taking those next steps, you're in. And I totally agree with everything you said there. I'm kind of along the same path. And we've talked about how this podcast is, it's weird because when we started it, we were kind of like, we'll start as a bit of a laugh and a bit of a thing. And now it's kind of become this thing where we're like, actually, this feels like something that we should be doing. Yeah. Something that we should have started quite a while ago. But now, obviously, for whatever reason, you can talk about like the universe or whatever's got plans for everyone. And I feel like now is the time that this is the time to start it. Yeah. And we've got something to offer to the world, basically, not just, doing our own thing.
I could fucking do this for the rest of my life. I could. Yeah. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, we love it. It's so much fun.
There's really interesting conversations week in, week out.
Literally.
Yeah.
I mean, gaining all that knowledge.
Forget the cameras. You should schedule time to do this anyway.
Exactly. That's what we've built it off. Yeah. Like we've said, we've had these kinds of conversations with each other for the past fucking hell, God knows how long, And it's like, well, why don't you just put it in front of a camera and have people watch it and actually learn from it rather than just having it all to ourselves,
Like, we had a shared Minecraft realm. And we were like, I would be on the PC and he'd be on the computer. We were like building shit or whatever, like fucking knobbing about. And we'd get into these such deep conversations.
Proper deep.
And they were so fun. At least to us, they were so interesting. Yeah. And it's like, if it's interesting to you, it's going to be interesting to someone. Not everyone. I mean, there's fucking dickheads out there. And there's losers that wouldn't like the pod. But for the most part, you know, there's going to be someone out there that enjoys it as well. So it's like, why would you not?
Yeah.
Like, we're pissing about on Minecraft.
Yeah.
And what a fucking waste of time.
Yeah.
And instead, we've just transitioned that into something that we can actually enjoy doing and building, basically.
It's class.
Do you ever get sad?
Do I ever get sad?
Yeah.
If I've got something to be sad about, I don't hide away from that emotion. But I don't normally wake up sad for no reason. I don't listen to sad music. That's my number one hands down rule.
My man
cannot understand.
I'm on the same wavelength.
Sad music,
yes.
bro. I don't meet many people.
This guy fucking loves it.
I cannot get my head around the concept of listening to something just to make you sad.
Yeah.
If I feel sad, I blast the happiest shit and snap myself out of that and dance around the kitchen. Yes. I do not get it. I cannot get my head around sad tunes.
That's smart.
That's a great short. That's a great short right there. We fucking got that. That's class.
I'm trying to reflect on why I like it.
There is something too.
All the boys, everybody tries to. They look at me like I'm a fucking weirdo. They're like, bro, it's good to listen to sad music occasionally. Like, it's okay. I just can't get my head around it. I'm just like, why?
I just like it.
I don't see a good fit for it. Ever.
I think there's certain songs where it's got like a sad undertone, but and it's sad singing, but the lyrics are ultimately optimistic.
Okay.
So it's like,
well, yeah, try and sell me sad music.
I'm trying to think of a song. I'm trying to think of a song. There's certain things that are like, you know, things are shit, but you know,
it might be okay next week.
These are all the things that are shit,
maybe,
and this is how I'm fit. It's kind of reflective of, I am sad right now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what the song is about, and you're like, oh, me too, I'm there. But ultimately, then the song kind of goes, this is how we're gonna exfiltrate this shitty situation.
Okay.
There are also songs that are just sad for sad sake.
Maybe I've not listened to them long enough to get to the optimistic.
Also, I think you're probably right in the sense that it's kind of you kind of just lean into it. Yeah. You're like, okay, let's just be sad for a bit then.
Don't get me wrong. If you've got something to be genuinely sad about, like if you've lost someone, like I can see how it can be, but yeah, it just makes me even sadder, and I don't want that.
It also makes it harder.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be sad. Like I don't enjoy feeling sad.
Totally. I feel like it also makes it harder to then get yourself back out of that situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Although I can see the boys say to me, when you actually do cry, once you stop crying, you've done it, and you feel better then.
Yeah.
Like if you've got something to be really sad, and I can see that. Yeah. There's only so long you can cry for.
Totally.
And then you kind of be like, oh yeah, cool. What was I doing then? And then you just crack on, don't you?
Back to the next thing.
I don't fucking cry about sad stuff though. If I ever
you lost someone too close to you.
I haven't. Thank God I haven't.
Yeah.
Like I did. The closest thing I lost was I lost my nan, but also she had dementia for like 10 years before that. Yeah. So it kind of got to a point where I was so young when it started, and the decline was so gradual that it was kind of like, I think the average lifespan once you get diagnosed with dementia is like 7 years, and she did like 11. Yeah. So she was like proper vegetable state. Basically, when you go and saw her, it was basically, when I hadn't seen her for like 6 months and I went in, it looked like a corpse already. Like it was worse to see someone in that position than not. So when she died, it was, in a way, it was kind of like, good for her. Like, she's at least free again. The only other time that I lost my dog, my lab. Yeah. And that was like a shock because we had an older dog. So I thought this one was going to be like the longest living one. Yeah. And he fucking ended up dying first. Yeah. Like a dickhead. Fucking Mr. fucking, I'm going to have a heart attack and die. Oh. Cock. But like once we did all that, me and Dad went and take him to the vets and all that. They tried sorting him out. They'd like shaving bits off him and all that. He looked a fucking mess by the end of it anyway. Yeah. He was sort of feeling sorry for himself, happy to go. When I come back, I had like a very regimented, I like sat down, I was like, okay, I'm gonna cry at some point. So before bed, I'm gonna sit down
and cry.
I'm gonna look at a photo of him. I'm gonna do it. Right, there you go. There's tears. Yeah, stand by for tears. 3, 2, 1. Right. Nice. Off to bed. It was like kind of like what the boys were saying. Like it was something that was gonna have to happen. Yeah. It just expedited the process of getting back on top.
Yeah.
And that was the only time I really did.
Yeah.
But if something
Apart from
catches...
that, you don't naturally, you don't ever feel like, oh shit, I'm gonna,
What I feel sometimes is gratefulness.
Right.
Especially recently.
Yeah.
And that will end up stirring things in me. Like, if me and Ollie end up having like a proper deep conversation and it gets somewhere and we start hyping each other up, I'm like, I'll be driving home tired as fuck after like 3 hours sleep on like a 24-hour shoot or something. And like, I'll start thinking about everything, like, oh, I'll go home, like, we've got the pod, we've got the boys, we've got the fucking, everything's going well, like, that shoot went great.
Then you're just
and
like,
then I'll just be like,
that's cool, man. That's cool.
Like, that's the only, or like, I'll see some weird fucking Jordan Peterson post or something and I'll be like, shit. It'll be like, but something optimistic, something joyful.
Yeah.
That gets me more than sad stuff.
Yeah.
Every time.
That's cool.
Fuck knows why.
That's cool. So you're a fan of sad music, but you don't ever cry?
Yeah, no.
Very.
That's quite an interesting.
It's weird. It's a weird. He's a weird bloke.
So you can't do sad music at all, no?
There's just something about it that every time, like a bit like you, like when it comes on, I'm just a bit like, why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I get it. I get what they're trying to say, and I get what the music is about. And if you want to listen to that, it's like I don't give a shit. If you want to listen to that, that's fine. I'm not fussed. But I will try my like the two, and they came on at work the other day. One of them was fucking chasing cars by Snow Patrol, and the other one's fucking Wonderwall, right? Those two songs, in my eyes, I hate them with a passion. Every time they come on, I'm like, absolutely not, get out, where's the drum and bass? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just done. I'm not fucking doing
Lewis
it.
Capaldi for me, he's everywhere. I love Lewis Capaldi, but as soon as his music comes on, I'm just fucking sad, man.
But there is a difference because, like, if I listen to a rap song that's about like one of their homies dying or whatever, or like you know they've seen something that's really bad, that I can get behind because the actual story behind it is genuinely interesting and what they're trying to say. But like that's like you say, like the sad music for sad music's sake. I'm like, oh, why?
Yeah.
Why would you do it? Unless it's got an interest, and like what you were saying just then in terms of like. The genuinely having like I can understand if it's got a genuinely positive undertone and they're trying to like get you back on track. But
lots of it's not.
But lots of it's not. And like you say, what are you singing about? Like, what are you trying to do?
I think a lot of the, especially the mainstream stuff, like fucking Snow Patrol, whatever the fuck it was. What was it?
Chasing cars, like Snow Patrol. And is it Oasis Wonderwall?
And like, I'm thinking Sam Smith as well. Like all these guys. They know that it's made for a mass market.
That's what I was just thinking in my head. To me, I can't help but just think this is just marketing.
Yes.
Lots of people are sad. I'm going to make something that's going to make him even more sad. They're all going to love it, and I'm going to make a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just,
It's almost like you've got a marketer's brain. It's funny that. It's funny that.
Yeah.
Go on then, so seeing as we're on the topic of music, DJing.
Yeah.
It's another passion of yours. We started off the podcast slightly talking about that. Where did that come from? Where's that spawned?
Yeah, I've been a big fan of house music for time now, like probably 10 years. I had my first DJ decks as a Christmas present when I was 18. Never really used them, just kind of been in my room for a while. Do lots of video content for nightclubs and DJs and stuff like that. So I've always been kind of in and around the scene. And then, past 2 or 3 years, I've just fallen absolutely in love with it. One of my close friends now, Jay, he owns another events company. He's like a really good DJ. So I had a couple lessons off him and just sort of, really, really fallen in love with it, to be fair. It's like a really cool creative output for me because obviously videos and stuff, I do videos all the time for clients and stuff. It can get a little bit tedious to be doing that constantly, is using that as your creative output. So mixing music is good fun. It's really good. It's something fresh and new.
It's good to have that extra extra output in terms, especially if you're doing something creative. Because like I find with my job, like I get to the weekend sometimes, I'm like, I don't want to fucking climb. Like I've been climbing all week doing all this creative stuff. So I have to then go, I've started doing like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and I go surfing. I'm like doing all these extra stuff that's just like an energy outlet that's still creative, but in a very different way. You know? Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's such a buzz just showing people your music, hearing people enjoying your music. Essentially DJing is like a glorified aux cable. Like you're just playing your playlists to people, and when people really, really are enjoying it, it's a cool feeling. You know, you show your mate a tune and they're like, shit, what's this? This is nice. It's exactly that buzz, but constantly.
I can imagine that, especially like I mean, the only time I don't really go to nightclubs or anything like that. Well, I definitely don't anymore. I've been fucking sober for
You've gone to the wrong
years.
nightclubs. Me and I were having these conversations.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Chris said, oh, mate, Chris says he doesn't go to any nightclubs. And I was like, and then we both came to the conclusion, he was like, you've probably been to shit nightclubs. To be
fair, you're right, right? Yeah, I would be open to that idea, yeah. I mean, if you had a recommendation to a place to go...
Yeah, come with me.
I'll go with you.
We can have a good night.
Yeah. I don't drink, though.
Okay. We'll work on that.
No. You will not be breaking my 21 months. 21 months.
Oh, crazy. Fair play, bro.
Yeah. Well, because I started getting a bit of a problem with it.
Right, oh, okay, really, yeah.
Yeah, I used to just drink at home and stuff.
Right. Just on your ones.
Like, fucking, you got all that there, that wouldn't have lasted.
Really?
Yeah.
Right, fair enough. So you just completely cut it out altogether? Yeah.
Well, I started off for a month just to prove that I didn't have a problem.
Yeah.
Which turned out to be true because I just did it. It was alright. But there was a bit of craving here and there, but it wasn't like, I wasn't an alkie. If I was an alkie, I wouldn't have been able to stop.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But now it's just like...
Yeah.
It's sort of built into my personality now that I don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't know really why, but there's a source of pride in it.
Yeah, cool.
And I just feel like if I let that go...
I can see that. Do you reckon you'll reach a stage where you've achieved a lot and you might enjoy a drink at some time? Or is that never going to...
cigars, I would.
Say again.
If I was going to do anything, I'd do cigars.
Oh, yeah,
Just
okay.
fucking cooler, innit?
Yeah.
Fuck your whiskey.
Just have a cigar instead.
Yeah.
Whiskey tastes like piss, man. Yeah. Cigars are cool as fuck.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. It's a cool mentality to be in.
But also, I guarantee that I would not be the most boring at the nightclub if you caught me. Like, because
I've got a couple of friends actually. I've just come back from Marbella. There are a couple of those boys
got
don't
friends,
drink.
mate.
Yeah, I've got friends. Yeah. No, I've got a couple of friends that don't drink.
We were waiting for that.
Yeah, they still had a great time. Still had good fun. So if you can do it, why not?
Well, to be fair, when you go into places like fucking Croatia and that, it's fun anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I enjoyed clubbing when it was on the beach in Bali.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah.
But like you say,
exactly.
when
But
it's
if you're
like,
in a shitty club in Plymouth.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, that literally sums it up.
Because essentially, it's the nightclubs that you probably associate with going out are designed for 18-year-olds. They are. It's for that period when you turn 18 and suddenly it's just a glorified school disco. It's not an actual nightclub. Do you know what I mean?
I see.
So we don't go to those kind of places. There's different types. There's like specifically clubs for specific genres of music. It's this whole little scene.
Yeah. To be fair, I think I would have enjoyed. I never went to one, but I think I would have enjoyed like a hip-hop orientated night.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
I would enjoy that.
Yeah, 100%. There's some festivals that have like hip-hop stages and it's live and it's sick. There's some upcoming talent. It's just about creating a feeling as opposed to just jumping up and down and singing to the same songs every weekend that you've already heard millions of times. It's going to get boring, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Okay. I'll be open to the change.
Yeah.
But there's an interesting thing, and we've talked about 50 Cent's book. Because in that, he talks about not drinking, being in one of these like proper nightclubs, right?
Yeah.
And how he's not drinking, everyone else is around him is drinking, and he uses it as a way to network without himself. So he's still very coherent and he knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And he'll have like, what does he say? He has like water and he orders like water or something in a...
Yeah, he orders
like lemonade or something.
Yeah, lemonade or something because you can never tell if it's vodka lemonade or something like that.
And then everyone else is spilling all their fucking business stuff. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's just sat there like, right, nice one. You know what I mean? So it's quite an interesting way of doing it.
It's scary though, especially when you're single because like, initially when I started it, I had a rule that if I was going on a date, I was able to drink. So the actual start date of my like pure 100% alcohol free is somewhat under conjecture. Actually sometime in March rather than January. Right. I think I did the first month and then I kind of had this thing where if I'm going on a date, I'll have a few drinks kind of thing. Because if you go to like a nightclub and you know how it is in nightclubs, fucking people are pissed up and they do stupid shit. Like say some girl just fucking comes up and starts necking you. And you're sober and she's not. Yeah. It's like now you're in this sticky situation. Yeah. So that's the only reason that I still generally avoid those things. Yeah. It's like if something kicks off, I don't want to be in
It's best just to avoid it, isn't it?
Yeah, I can see that. For
the sake of safety, you're just like, let's just avoid that.
Yeah.
You know?
But also, and it is a distraction at the end of the day. If you're not, luckily I'm managing to find a way to to monetize the partying. Yeah. But if it's just a complete distraction to the mission, then there's genuinely no need to be in there, really, is there? I can see that.
Well, that's the kind of point of producer versus consumer. Like, we're all on social media, but we're not consuming it in the same way that most people are. We're actually contributing something to it.
Exactly.
Some people might think it's bollocks what we produce to it. I don't give a fuck. I'm still producing rather than just pure consuming.
Exactly, yeah.
And if I'm on there with a mission to extract information.
Exactly, yeah. That's why I don't really agree with the whole, like, get your screen time down and all this stuff. Like, yes, if you're just doing fuck all on your phone, you probably could be doing something else. But if you're actually using social media to do a bit of research on what's popping, what's good, getting ideas, then I don't think there's much problem in being on your phone quite a lot.
I also don't think people realise that you can tailor your social media to what you want it to give you. Because they just happen to accept bollocks. And just rant, like, cat videos or fucking all that sort of shit. Whereas if you look at our Instagram, probably yours as well, it's full of loads of stuff that we're actually interested in and viewpoints and stuff that we want to hear.
So insightful information.
Totally, So then if I'm scrolling, I'm not just scrolling through bollocks, I'm scrolling through stuff I'm actually learning about.
Romeo taught me that about TikTok, because I was a classic fucking dickhead when it comes to TikTok. I was like, nah, it's fucking for losers, it's fucking kids dancing, fuck that, everyone likes nonsense. And then Luke was like, obviously blew up on it and got his 200k. And I was like, okay. Yeah. Maybe I missed something.
There's something to this.
I mean, the content he produces is not the content I would want. Now it is, but back then he was like doing book talk and all that shit. Like, I don't want to do that shit. But I was like, okay, well, there's still something. And he said, mate, you just got to spend 20 minutes on the app. Like, of course, when it doesn't know what to suggest to you, it's going to show you bollocks. It's going to show you whatever the most popular thing is, and most people watch bollocks. But if you actually just, like, scroll for a bit, it'll pick up on what you do like, and then you just see that. And like, now my TikTok's all about growth strategies and different tricks and all that, like, almost exclusively.
Instagram's the same, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually a useful thing.
Yeah, definitely. It's a clever algorithm, man. And it's so rewarding. If you post the right content, you get hundreds of thousands. There's no other platform that gives you that amount of views. There's nothing else out there.
And it's closing up, I think. I think it will reach a point where the golden era of the top could be over.
Yeah, 100%.
What's up, winners? If you're loving this podcast, make sure to drop us a 5-star review on Spotify. And if you aren't already, be sure to follow us on our social media channels. That's YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. 2 Beast Podcast, the number 2 Beast Podcast. Let's get back to the show.
Well, when we talk about social media, Ash brought up a point, because we were talking about AI then. And my dad has a theory that AI will be something where we kind of all have our own AI, if that makes sense. Like, it'll be attached to you, kind of.
It's tailored to us.
And it's your job to kind of teach it and train it in a way. So, like, basically it's a big fucking game of Robot Wars. Like, you task your AI with stuff, and basically the winners will be how well they task their AI to do certain things. And at first I thought that sounded like a fucking weird thing. But then Ash brought up on the podcast that we kind of already have that.
Yeah, the phones are getting there.
That's very true,
We all have these.
This is my own Sergeant Slaughter.
It's your little side, it's your little,
It's your pocket AI. And some people use these to absolutely piss away the day, chatting bollocks with their friends, gossiping, and scrolling on fucking...
Commenting out on our videos,
listening to sad music, like pathetic shit like that. And then there's other people that are using these to make literally hundreds of thousands of pounds a day.
That's very true, yeah.
Literally the only difference is how well they've learned to utilise them and what they do with them. That's literally the only difference.
It's a tool, isn't it? Yeah. We are so lucky to be in this generation. Like, when you're actually deep, it has never been easier to set up a business, to network with people from wherever they are in the entire world. Think about how hard it would be to reach out to somebody in America 100 years ago. Like, it wouldn't be a thing.
Send a letter and it'd take you like fucking weeks.
Yeah, pigeons can't fly that far.
Now you've got Guam, like DDC, like you've got connections everywhere in every aspect of the world, isn't it? It's so easy.
Yeah, that's true.
So easy. But yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
What was I going to fucking say? I had a point then, I fucked it. Oh, boys, bail me out.
Oh, no. I've got a point, I can jump in. Jump in. So on that point, in terms of like connecting and online and all that sort of stuff, I'm starting a side business that is basically building an online coaching course for climbing that doesn't require one-to-one type sessions. It's essentially like, you know, like you have like a gym type course, but it's tailored towards climbing technique in particular. So from your point of view of a marketer, is there anything that you would suggest I can do to try and push that as a market as best as I possibly can? Or have you done anything like that already?
I actually really want to start working on a course. That's like a similar kind of thing. Online courses are crazy, bro. Because when you actually look at it, there's no inventory. You don't have to keep any stock. It's an online product that you just push out. Once you've produced it, you choose the price. You can have sales. I think they're amazing. How would I market it? I'd be building your climbing brand on TikTok. Yeah. I'd make a separate TikTok account specifically making climbing videos in that niche, building an organic audience already. Showing that audience that you're good, that you know how to fucking do it. So people are gonna, like, do you know what I mean? It's not just talking about climbing, it's actually physically doing it, filming it in an interesting way that's gonna keep their attention. So start building an audience of people that already kind of look up to you in that scene. And then, just start producing some ads, like reach out to Chris, reach out to one of us boys. And film something that's really gonna be quite eye-catching, that's gonna, entice people into learning a bit more about climbing and how you can help. And then, it's just about then creating a good landing page on a website that's at multiple times telling people to buy now, like it's like a one-off sale price. And just going ham with that, seeing what audiences work and what clicks with it, and putting some budget behind it and rolling with it. But that's exciting.
I've noticed you've done pretty well on TikTok. Because TikTok came after your YouTube channel.
It did, yeah.
So presumably the audience is completely disconnected. And I think TikTok also well outweighs your YouTube channel now in terms of subscribers, right?
It does, yeah. I think I'm sat at about 70k at the moment on TikTok. Yeah, it's good, it's sick. It's one of those, you get rewarded for doing it more, for being consistent with it, just like everything, really. I'll go through phases where I'm really, really on the ball with it. When I've got a little bit like more of a back seat on the business and the corporate stuff, I can really, really hone in, and then it does quite well, and then I kind of take my foot off the gas, and then I have to build it back up again. So that's something that I need to work on, is just doing it constantly. But it's a mad platform, bro. It's so good.
Have you ever considered like just hiring like an editor or something to help you with this stuff, so that all you have to do is film it, just chuck the footage to him? Is there a reason?
I have. I've considered that, and I've done a couple stuff where other people have edited my YouTube stuff. But for me, I don't know whether it's like whether I'm just too much of a control freak. But I love the process of doing it. When I have the time to sit down and do it, it makes me feel like I'm 15 again. That's what got me into this industry in the first place. I definitely think there'll be a day where there's physically just not enough. I can't do as much as I'd like to do, so I'm going to have to get somebody else involved. But it's a tricky one. I feel like only I can kind of know how I want my stuff edited right now. I don't know, you're probably going to say that sounds like an absolute idiot, but
I don't know. I think it's probably you're overthinking it for sure. I think that also if you wanted to edit your own stuff, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. You would just also have the content from other people. That would still be allowing that growth. Because as long as you found the right person, like it wouldn't be bad content.
No,
even if it wasn't your exact style. It would still be getting views, it would still be getting clicks. Otherwise your editor's fucking shite and you get them sacked. Like, simple as that.
That's true. That is true.
I feel like it's just, you can still, whenever you get that break, be like, cool. I'll do some videos this month, but like just have them there as a background.
100%.
So I guess you could, like, once you've done that, if you then have to jump back to the business, that's still going on. And it's not just put on pause.
Project here, fucking take care of that.
Pretty much. Whereas now I'd imagine it's like, right, that goes on hold while I go and do this. I'll come back to it in a minute. Whereas you could have that roll. It's like spinning that plate whilst you're spinning the
exactly. You're speaking facts.
And I feel like you're in a pretty unique position as well, because most people who like want to start, they're obviously in a 9-to-5 or whatever. They just don't have the money to be fucking doing that. But at least you actually have some kind of capital where you could invest, even for like 12 months. You could just write off 12 months and just see how it goes.
I've been tempted to do that. Been very, very tempted to take on a full-time editor specifically for TikTok stuff, because I feel like that would make a huge difference. If you had somebody just focusing on TikTok content every day.
That would be mental.
12 months later, you'd be millions and millions of followers. Like genuinely would, if they're doing it to the right strategy and the right plan.
Completely.
So once I know, in fact, I'm gonna fucking do that.
Yes.
That's good. If nothing else, we've made
Just a no-brainer, actually. Just
pull his finger out and get it going. Nice.
How did you get? I'm just looking now. We're at 120 followers at the moment, which is fucking big numbers, obviously. So
Nice.
Not bad for 30 days.
Just-
whatever it
You
is.
guys, by the way, I meant to say, you guys have got to stop taking the hate comments so personally, man. The hate comments are good. If you're not getting hate, you're not popping.
True
right?
that is very true.
Everybody that's doing something is getting hate.
Yeah.
So we've definitely showed our inexperience by like those first hate comments. Like already, obviously, when we recorded like episode 4, or whatever, which is I think the one where we actually went proper in about the hate comments.
Yeah.
It might have even been 8. But we were like 6 episodes ahead.
Right.
So we had only just released episode 2.
Right.
And so we were literally getting our first like 2 or 3 hate comments.
Yeah.
And it was like the first time I'd ever really had any.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely showed our inexperience. Because now I immediately, like 8 weeks on, I'm like, oh, I understand how this works
like
now.
I'll get gassed when I get a hate comment. Because you almost, there's strategies that I use on TikTok in order to get hate comments, because that's what you're kind of looking for, because that sparks the algorithm. People like the comment, people do that.
Yeah.
Like there's people that purposely pull on those strings of trolls behind their phone in order to get the algorithm to work on your side.
Yeah, I mean we've dabbled with that to a certain degree. There's certain like
spelling mistakes and stuff like that, or
spelling
saying a word slightly wrong.
We
or something.
never fix the captions.
Yeah.
Like the captions are just what they are.
Yeah,
Sometimes they come up with some pretty fucking stupid results.
Yeah.
But it's like you just leave it in, don't you have a chance. But yeah, I agree. And I definitely have now I have fun with them. And one of the things I've noticed is interesting is if I actually just, like you say, stop taking them so fucking personally and realise it's banter, like lad banter. And you just banter back.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we've ended up like laughing about, like me and this hater. I've ended up actually being like pals because they're like, oh, this guy's a legend.
Because they're just creasing at you, you're creasing at them. There's nothing too personal. You don't have a fucking clue who it is. It's like,
It's hilarious.
And also, it's useful to, there's only one way, you don't know stuff till you know stuff.
Yeah.
Like one I replied to, and then he replied back, and it was very obviously bait.
Right.
Like he said things like, oh, bro, you don't even have, like you've posted 120 videos, you don't even have one over 1,000 views, which was so obviously bullshit that I was like, oh, he's just baiting me. Like this is a game, it's like sports to this guy. Like he's just going around, and like a few hours later his account gets deleted or whatever. So he's obviously been a prick on like, he's just gone in with that.
It's crazy that people do that with their time.
It's sad.
It is sad.
It is sad.
It is sad. You kind of get the gist of what an internet hater looks like when you meet them in real life. They've got no confidence. You just sat
Well, they'd
on
never
the
come
phone
up.
screen.
Like, there's no way anything anyone has said in an Instagram or TikTok or whatever social media comment would ever say that to you in real life to your face.
No,
Never, ever.
They're all just gorms sat behind the screen.
Literally,
You
ever had any like proper threats that you've actually been worried about?
Ever had any proper threats? No. I get quite a lot of fake accounts made, and then they block me and follow every single one of my following list. And it looks, I've got one at the moment that I keep seeing pop up, and he's copied every single element of my TikTok, follows the same amount of people, every single TikTok I've ever posted with the same caption. And it looks, when I go on it, it looks like my account. And then he's following all these people that I'm connections with and saying, hi, like DM me mate and stuff. And they're thinking it's me, and they're like, will do. And I don't know what that kind of objective is. But that's a little bit worrying. But in terms of like threats, nah, don't think so.
Can you get verified on TikTok? Is that something that's...
You can, yeah.
Surely, like, you've got enough, like 75,000, you obviously having fake accounts made.
Yeah.
That's normally like the thing that you need to send off, right?
I've reported it a few times, but it's still on, so I don't know.
It's interesting you say that, because I'm pretty sure, like...
Has it just followed you?
You followed me the other day, and I was like, that's not right.
Yeah,
because and it looked exactly like you.
Yeah.
And I thought,
That's
I don't
the
know,
guy.
maybe like
That's the
accidentally unfollowed, refollowed or whatever.
No, it looks identical to me. It's just my username with a 1 at the end.
That's how you know. So they've got like a 1 or an underscore or some shit.
But you only see that when you click on the actual TikTok profile. So on the just comments and followers, it
doesn't give you the whole.
It says my actual username.
Yeah,
so
I think that would be it.
Terrifying. I was just sat on my For You page on a client's TikTok account that I run, and then one of my videos came up and I had like 4 likes, and I was just like, what the fuck's this? Yeah. Clicked on it, and I was just like, I thought I'd lost all my followers. I had like 200 followers, and I was like, "This is crazy." What? And then I suddenly realised that it wasn't me. And I was like, "Fucking hell, man!"
Is it worth
I don't know what the objective is there.
Is it worth just having like a burner account that you can just search your name every now and again and just see that those accounts exist?
Yeah. I'm going to make a second account as well, because there's lots of stuff that you just should post that maybe you don't want on your main account, but just getting the content up for content's sake.
Yeah, because you put like a lot of effort into your main account, don't you? Like, that's some really well edited shit.
Yeah,
I just saw one that you posted about Croatia the other day. I was trying to find it, but what's your like plan with TikTok? What's your approach?
Build the audience as much as I can. Keep the vibes, good fun. It's all about predominantly having a good time, laughing. Build that audience, build the platform, and then hopefully work with some brands on there. That's essentially my mission.
You worked with any brands yet?
A couple. I've worked with I've got one deal in the works at the moment with like a paddleboard company, because I have quite a big paddleboard.
Oh yeah.
TikTok. So hopefully they're like a paddleboard hire company. So got a deal in the works there. But it's about building those insights up. As soon as you got the insights with millions of views, you can knock on the doors of brands that want that exposure in that niche, and they'll pay good money for it. So
would you ever work with like management?
I would, yeah. I think so. I think that would be good if you got somebody solely on that brand deal quest on the side. That would be good.
I mean, I don't know how big. I don't know if like the one that Luke's with are looking to take people on or not. If you've investigated.
I spoke to Luke about that actually.
They seem to be doing like solid
bits for him. Yeah. Definitely.
I think Hamana Agency or something they're called.
Yeah, that could be cool. No, he's got a lot of brand deals coming in, isn't he? So.
And I saw they've just posted a thing. They've got like a pretty massive team, like pretty rapidly.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think there's like 10 or 12.
Cool.
10 or 12 women in that. Like,
serious money in influencer marketing, man. Serious money. Yeah. I remember, when my business partner Zach used to run like a influencer network, and just to do like a feature post like on your Instagram on some of these influencers, some of the big YouTubers, like Joe Sugg and those kind of size people. Back in the day, it was like $100,000 for an Instagram post. Like just whatever you wanted, you could pay for it. It was $100,000.
Yeah,
mad,
crazy.
That's wild.
And he wasn't even one of the biggest ones. Like, imagine what it's like to work with the top dogs. Like, it's crazy money.
Yeah, you're into the millions.
You see the money that fucking Mr. Beast puts in the video. It's just like there's got to be some serious wedge flying around.
And what's crazy, he doesn't really even do brand deals. Does it? Oh no, I've got that completely wrong. He definitely does brand deals.
He does, he does. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Because he pretty openly brags about how like Shopify are the ones that have paid for this train to get fucking put in the hole.
I'm getting confused because a lot of his sponsors are his own businesses. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's true.
But then there are lots of companies that are pumping money into his.
That's what I would like to do. Like if the podcast reaches a point where it's in a position to be taking on brand deals, I want to be as independent as possible. Yeah. If there's a brand deal that's actually sick, I'm down. But like if it's just some fucking bollocks fucking supplement that I'm never going to take, I'd much rather just whack Maven Visuals on the thing.
Definitely.
Push that. Like there's I've got like a bunch of photos that are taken from like back in the traveling days that I've mocked up as canvases.
Cool.
Like I want to get them done and then just like have them on the wall in the background of the studio or something. Just so that, like, it's just an option. It's just things there to monetize it without. So it like justifies us being able to come and do the more content, but equally and put more money into the episodes. Like travel further. Fucking we want to fly to Africa. We do and speak to fucking
Hardest Geezer.
Hardest Geezer.
Seen that guy? The guy running the length of Africa.
Bro, he's nuts.
He's a fucking beast.
That's insane. How's he getting on? Is he still doing it?
He's like halfway, isn't he? I think is he just under halfway.
He ain't gonna stop.
Nah, he's a fucking machine.
Yeah, I've seen, mate. Good. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
But he's great just in terms of his outlook on the whole thing. Like there's never, I mean, he probably has like his fucking ups and downs, doesn't he? But just his entire outlook on it is just like to basically stare death in the face and go,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just going to keep going, you know what I mean? With this like hilarious Essex accent. It's great.
Yeah.
You know, this humour. It's quality.
It shows the difference between American culture and British culture, because he is effectively the British Goggins.
The British Goggins, yeah.
But like when you see David Goggins running, a lot of it is fight harder, motherfucker. America, motherfucker. And then Hardest Keys is like, all right, boys, I'm fucked.
Keep going.
Yeah, just like completely different, kind of, same result, just different personalities. It's just matching up the American and British culture kind of thing. Yeah.
It's that humour side of it, isn't it? I think more than anything else. Like you don't laugh at a Goggins post, but you laugh at a Hardest Geezer post. That's the difference, you know?
Yeah. 100%.
He's just trying to make you feel good. You know, he's just like going through the absolute shit every single day, you know, like.
Are you training much these days?
Yeah, I do train quite a bit now. Yeah, I've got into the gym in the past. Yeah, this year, this is the first year I've ever kind of really started it. But yeah, it's good fun.
It is good fun.
You definitely get on that like consistency train where you're going a lot, so you keep going a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
And then if you kind of have a couple of weeks where you drop off it, the motivations drop slightly, but no, it's good. We all go to the same gym, all the boys, so we're there quite a lot, to be fair. It's good fun.
Do you feel better for it in terms of like physically or
100%,
mentally?
Yeah. I've always been quite skinny. I've always been quite self-conscious about how skinny I am, and this is the first time I've ever. I mean, I'm still quite a slim guy, but it's the first time I can see a kind of difference. Yeah. And it's kind of that's what's.
That's
quite
the
addictive.
key. When you first start seeing that first bit of difference, you're like, oh shit, there actually is like, this is
that
good.
is it.
That's the addiction.
The first 3 months is the hardest, I've always said that. Yeah. And then like after 3 months you see something.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily like fucking Phil Heath, but you're like,
oh shit, I look a bit different.
My weight's down, my fucking reps are up, like, I'm feeling good. You start getting those energy benefits. I mean, there's so much more. Like, I think I don't actually realise how much more energy I have. You know, a lot of people talk about energy levels.
True.
But then I also think back, like last week, did like 4 back-to-back shoots, like fuck all sleep, and I was just wired in, just locked in. And I thought, maybe this is the result of all the training.
Yeah, it's probably true actually, Like, you cold showering quite a lot?
Yeah, I do before workouts.
Before workouts? Oh, interesting. I cold shower after every...
Are you doing it after strength workouts?
Yeah, well there's a cold shower and sauna at the gym that I'm at, so we train, go downstairs, shower, cold shower, sauna, cold shower again.
Borrow a little bit of Andrew Huberman science here.
Yeah.
For hypertrophy and muscle growth, cold water actually is gonna somewhat kill your gains.
Oh fuck.
So, somewhat, because
Jake's just out like,
if you're doing cardio or whatever, it's great. But when you've trained in the gym like to build muscle, cold water reduces inflammation, but inflammation is actually part of the muscle building process. So you actually want it.
Right.
So what you want to probably do is actually still take the cold shower, but do it before working out.
Yeah.
Then don't like fucking whack the heating on in the car or put a hoodie on or anything like that. Like, come out, dry off as little as possible. Like just put on the especially in winter, and try to warm up purely by doing the exercises. Because that's going to give you the max benefit. And apparently it's really good for fucking testosterone and stuff as well. There's like people in their 50s that have testosterone levels of like people in their 20s. And literally all they've done is cold shower before the gym.
And then use the weights to warm up.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I've been doing that for only like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
But definitely, well, I've progressed in that time. So I would, it's good enough for me.
Little life hack.
If you do cold shower after workout, just leave it like 6 hours.
Yeah. Right.
About 6 hours is
have it in like the evening.
Yeah.
Because if you're like me and you forgot to do your cold shower and then it gets in your head that you're a quitting little bitch, then it's fine. You just wait 6 hours.
I just love it. I genuinely, I used to hate it, but I do it now because I genuinely love it. Like I like that feeling. You get used to it in a couple seconds.
Yeah.
And then it's class. You feel mint after it, don't you?
Yeah.
It's
almost like getting in a warm shower now. I'm like, it just doesn't feel this. You know, you just kind of sitting there in the warmth and you're like, this doesn't feel right. Whack it back to cold.
I think it's also because it's been so hot.
That does help for sure.
Yeah.
Keep the same energy.
Fucking doing cold water. Fucking check in with me in fucking 4 months' time in the middle of December and see how many people are still on the Wim Hof then. Wim Hof's views must just drop so much during the winter period.
Keep that same energy through winter. That's
He's like, right, I'm on my own for a bit. I'll see him again in spring.
Fuck.
Hello there, champions. Hey, are you getting married soon? Or do you know somebody that's getting married soon? So outside of this podcast, I am a wedding videographer full-time, and Maven Visuals Wedding Films is my company and also the sponsors of today's podcast. So if you want that guy from that podcast to come and actually film your wedding for you, then all you have to do is visit www.mavenvisualsweddingfilms.com. And if you mention that you're a Two Beasts listener in the consultation, then you will get 10% off whatever package you choose. All right, see you then. Back to the podcast.
Yeah, I was just saying in the break there, like, I fucking hate, for a guy that's started a podcast, I fucking hate normal conversation. Like, I can't fucking stand it. Like, if I go in, I used to work in a shop, and every fucking time, can I have the winning lottery ticket, mate? And I just like, oh, fucking shut up.
Small talk though, innit? It's that small talk shit that's just a bit like, oh.
They're not bad people. They just don't know what to say.
It's just conversation for conversation's sake, isn't it?
Exactly. So I'd rather just, like, we can sit in silence. It's cool.
We do it in the house all the time now. We're like, almost like don't talk to each other until we're filming a podcast because we're like, this is going to be too good to film.
Might drive Jen.
Yeah.
Be pissed off.
Yeah, it's like, don't.
We had a fucking 3-hour drive up this morning. I was like, fuck.
Should have been a pod. Yeah, should have been a pod.
It's like that, as soon as the cameras cut, we all just sat there like,
yeah, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
back.
Yeah, I fucking hate it. But yeah, like you're saying, the great thing about podding is you do just, one, you get hopefully you get questions asked that you wouldn't normally have to normally get. So it gives you just something to fucking think about. It's just a fun brain exercise, isn't it? And two, just makes a better conversation, which just helps throughout life.
It also reinforces your beliefs and your opinions.
You
Because
gain
you're
a lot
having
of
to say
knowledge
it.
of
Yeah,
every
and you gain a
person,
lot of knowledge from everyone,
Yeah.
and that's the biggest thing I've taken from this. Is like because it's there every week for the world to see. It's like I have to be totally honest with what I'm talking about, you know. And it
100%.
allows you to articulate things in a way that then reinforces, you know, the things that you know.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side of that, especially when you get a guest on, completely flips sometimes it completely flips your opinions and beliefs on its head, and you're like, shit, I never thought about it like that. That's a good way to think about it.
I don't think nightclubs
We better take that one down. It was like nightclubs are shit, change our mind, or whatever the fucking caption was.
Well,
it should have been.
The thing is, nightclubs are shit.
Totally.
They are. That's the point, isn't it?
Jake's ones are not. That's more so the point.
A lot of them are shit and boring, and the same thing that we were doing when we were 18.
Yeah, that's probably
It's different.
So I guess as a final thing, just to wrap up, anything next? Any projects that you're working on? Anything that you want to talk about?
Projects next. So we're working. So Zach, my business partner, we've started working on like a web software that's going to really organise the back end of our agency.
Get your shit done, Jay. What are you doing?
It's like a back-end system tool for it's firstly going to work on Code, so we can upload projects straight to there. A client can amend them all on this platform. We can upload briefs there and give it out off to the creatives. And then once we've got it working for our agency, we can then sell that to other agencies.
Nice.
So that's going to be quite a cool little monthly revenue from that. Working on another bit of software as well. Actually, Zach's like very clued up on the whole software game and the systems and the back end of business and stuff. So, hopefully working on. We mentioned about outreach earlier. Yeah. It's like an automated outreach like software that sends out thousands of emails a day to relevant email addresses, fully like custom made to that email. And we've got a couple friends that are playing around with the idea of that at the moment, and it's doing really well for them. So
is that utilising things like AI and ChatGPT then?
Exactly,
it's going to be custom emails.
Exactly that. Yeah. And the idea is that you send out enough emails, thousands of emails. You spark a couple interest with 4 or 5 people, get them on calls, show who you are, and
Oh, I'd fucking try that for sure. Yeah.
We'll let you know when it's up and running, bro. Yeah,
that'd be interesting to. I think that would be definitely an interesting thing to just try for a month and see what happens.
Yeah. It's 4,000 per week, I believe it sends out.
Holy fuck!
So
that's
it's good. Big. Yeah.
Where does it gather those? Do you have to have those emails originally, or like first, or does it gather them from?
Very good question. It's that kind of.
I don't know.
Well, I might be able to answer that because I know that there's sources out there like I forget what it's called now, something IO. But you basically type in like what decision maker you want, or like what job you want, what location, and it will find you like all the heads of marketing in an area with their relevant emails.
Is that what you did for your phone call thing?
No, I just use Google Maps, but use like a data scraper to get all the things off. Yeah, so like, but again, it's stuff you can automate. Like for sure. Because it was a very redundant task. But just data scraper plugin, type in accountants. Devon, and then I ChatGPT'd a list of the different like sub niches for financial services.
Cool.
Put each one into Google Maps, data scraped all the emails off, and then sent it off to someone on Fiverr to actually comb those for me and see right who's actually relevant here, who could we actually help. Like gave them a bit of a brief on what I was looking for. Then they did an all right job, so then I went and did it again. I looked through what they had done and
Did you get much success off those emails?
I got 2 meetings.
Sick.
One out of 25 calls. I've only done 25. I sent a batch off to, I sent 100 names off to 4 different people.
Right.
3 of them were just a bit shit. One of them did a good job, so I went through those. But then once I'd qualified those 100, they didn't really listen to my brief when I said, like, if they're not this, this, and this, delete them off the system. So like, they just kind of left them on the system. Once I went through them again, I had about 25 solid ones.
Fair.
Gave them a call. Some of them were dickheads. Most of them were nice. 2 of them wanted to have a meeting. So yeah, it's like a bit of a convoluted process, but I can definitely see how you could automate a lot of that.
Yeah. It's one of those, we're in discussion of it right now. This is all very fresh, but it's going to cost, the only thing is it's going to cost quite a lot of money. But if you can generate a return on that, which Zach is very confident that we can, then it should be good.
You mean it's going to cost you a lot of money or cost the end consumer a lot of money?
It's going to cost me a lot of money. It's a big a big thing to build. So but Zach's very. I'm trusting. This is all new for me. I've been a solo entrepreneur for so long now, and having somebody else involved that I'm kind of using as like a sidekick as such to point me in the right direction. It's all fresh. It's quite hard not to. I think I'm quite naturally quite a control freak, and it's kind of like, in my mind, if it doesn't make sense in my mind, we shouldn't do it. But it's kind of interesting having another opinion on everything. And sometimes my opinion isn't right. Like, I've been proved wrong numerous times, and it's like, oh shit, maybe delegation's quite good. Maybe I don't know fucking everything.
It's a good skill to learn, for sure.
Maybe I do have to pay my fucking VAT.
Exactly.
Yeah, do you find that hard to delegate then? Because
I do.
Now you're growing now, you're going to find that really difficult because you're going to be eventually, presumably, stepping back a lot more. Yeah. Especially if like the TikTok thing blows up and you're more of a...
I want to be doing that,
If you're a personal influencer, you are going to have to... That's where your person is actually going to have to be.
Yeah. I do find it hard. What I find hard, I've got clients that I've worked with for five years, and I've got personal relationships with them. I know exactly what they want. They know how I like to work. What I find hard is delegating. I don't delegate their stuff, to be fair. I don't think I ever will. They've given me so much opportunities over the years. They want to work with me. I've tried it with other videographers. They don't get on. They will happily fight. So that's a tricky one. When it comes to getting new business, which is obviously what all this lead gen system is going to be getting for us, I'm more than happy to sort of build a team below it, dedicate an account manager to that new client. So if that client's know nothing else than what this new next step of Kobe is, that's what I'm better at delegating that stuff. But the clients that I've nurtured from when I was 18, that I've got a personal relationship with, that have helped me get to where I am today, I kind of feel like I owe it to them to keep doing their work for them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel the same way. There's definitely some of our clients that have said, we really just if we can have you, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Like, okay, right, fine.
I
can do that.
I think you can have that. You can have like a small little niche of people that you can do that with, can't you? You just don't want to do that with like fucking everyone.
And everyone churns eventually. So like over the course of 10 years, they might sell the business or whatever because you've just done so much fucking legit work. They're like, actually, I'm sitting on a couple milli right now. I'm just gonna sell. And then like at that point, there's a right time to introduce stuff in there. It's just a transitional process. But anyway, that is a long old pod, Jake Hughes.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, man, it was sick.
Thank you so much for
how
fucking.
long was that? It's like
hour 45.
it was a long.
Like
was it?
Yeah.
Record breaker.
Yeah, so you were in fucking neck and neck. I think
Ash was 145.
Yeah, it was
So
145.
it's nearly it's 10 to 11 now. So we started at
So we're still ahead of schedule. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, bro, thank you so much.
Cheers, boys.
That was sick.
Cheers,
Cheers, dude.
Cheers for coming up.
Is there anything you want to shout on the pod before we close it out?
I don't think so. Make sure you follow these boys. Follow the journey.
Jake Hughes with 3 S's on TikTok.
Yeah,
is it?
JQ's with 3 S's.
Make
Yeah.
sure you get the right fucking account.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the one with the 1 on the end.
Not the one
Don't
with
follow
the
that
face. Yeah.
Code visuals.
Code visuals. Yeah. Check out all the websites and stuff. But yeah, make sure you follow these 2 boys. Absolutely killing it on doing the first 100 podcasts. So that could be cool.
Beautiful.
It's gonna be good.
Nice.
All right, thank you, boys and girls. See you later.
Peace out.
Thank you for listening to the Two Beast podcast. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this podcast on whatever your preferred platform is. We'll see you next time. All the best.